December 2nd, 2025, Netflix unleashes a documentary that instantly explodes, claiming the #2 spot on the...
Is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis "50 Cent" Jackson, titled Sean Combs.
The timing was flawless, just 2 months after Diddy's sentencing, dropping while his name still ruled every headline, keeping the world's eyes locked on him.
Seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
The documentary kicks off with a bomb no one saw coming. Rare, never-before-seen footage from the days leading up to Diddy's September 2024 arrest. Pages ripped from Kirk Burroughs' private journals. Handwritten notes from the Bad Boy co-founder, tracking Diddy's finances and secrets of his personal world. And that's just the beginning. 13 months of raw recordings from producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, behind-the-scenes documentation, insider material pulled straight from the heart of the operation, evidence captured in real time, impossible to ignore.
Very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
Episode 1, Pain versus Love, maps the metamorphosis. How a kid from Harlem clawed his way into becoming a music titan. Sean Combs is evolving into Puff Daddy. Early collaborators speak, revealing the chaos at Uptown Records, the rise of Bad Boy Entertainment, and the haunting City College stampede tragedy. 9 lives lost, a harbinger of the ruthless patterns that would shadow his career. Episode 2 pivots to Bad Boy's explosive rise, fueled by Biggie's unmatched talent. The perilous clash with Death Row Records ignites. East Coast versus West Coast tensions spiral dangerously. In the wake of Biggie's murder, an empire emerges, built on blood, betrayal, and tragedy. Yet somehow, each catastrophe only pushes Diddy further into power.
As that he only leans into his Black roots when it benefits him. So you watch his rise on Black culture and Black people and how much he abused and rode on other people's...
Episode 3, Official Girl, exposes the chaos that followed Biggie's death. Diddy's career is soaring, but trail of violence and scandal shadows every step. Disturbing allegations surface about abusive behavior toward Bad Boy artists and romantic partners. Former Donity Kane member Aubrey O'Day steps forward, revealing the exploitation and control she endured.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
The footage dominating headlines shows Diddy in Harlem, embracing fans, flashing smiles for the cameras. The king has returned to his throne, but what unfolds next exposes the real man lurking behind the public mask.
I gotta take it back. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do.
Inside the car, a starkly different reality surfaces. The smiles vanish. The act crumbles. That split between image and truth is laid bare, captured in chilling detail on camera.
He only comes home when the world spit him back out. He gets in the car and starts to talk about how he needs hand sanitizer and he needs to clean himself because he was out among the people and he felt so...
The moment came to embody everything the documentary would reveal. A man performing for the world while concealing deep contempt behind closed doors.
Private.
It should show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah. I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where you forgot.
Episode 4, Blink Again, surfaces with accusers stepping forward, leveling shocking claims of abuse. The revelations ignite a federal probe, culminating in the 2024 arrest and a headline-grabbing trial. 2 jurors come forward, detailing how the conviction unfolded. Alexandria Stapleton emphasizes that the documentary's mission went far beyond gathering accusations. It was about telling the full, unflinching story.
Important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell.
The documentary dives into the 2016 surveillance footage, the hotel assault that CNN broke in May 2024, the violence caught on camera, and the raw, unfiltered evidence laid bare. Two jurors who witnessed the trial firsthand share unique perspectives on the verdict and the twisted dynamics behind the relationships.
Art series also features two jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of two offenses, but clear of racketeering and trafficking.
Critics respond overwhelmingly, with over 90% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. 10 reviewers praise it as meticulous and restrained, far from sensationalism. Crafted with precision, exhaustive in detail, the allegations hit hard and linger. The Guardian awards 4 stars. Metacritic rates it 67 out of 100 from 5 critics, signaling generally favorable reception. Serious journalism takes center stage, not tabloid theatrics. The investigation is thorough, the production slick, earning industry credibility. Comparisons immediately surface to Surviving R. Kelly, another dark, emotional exposé dismantling a powerful figure. Patterns of abuse laid bare, victims finally given voice. A cultural reckoning ignites, a hashtag #MeToo moment in hip-hop demanding accountability at the top.
This blew my mind, and I have to say 50 Cent is out here doing the Lord's work. We need to protect him at all costs. I think if we put him on the Epstein files, he'd get them all released in days.
Sure would.
I don't want to give anything away, but he gets into some very high-profile unsolved crimes with very, very interesting and compelling new information.
But here's where it takes a sharp turn. 50 Cent lays down his mission with ruthless clarity. This isn't just a story, it carries real, human consequences. In a joint statement with Stapleton, he stresses it's far beyond personal vendettas. It's about justice for the victims, shattering decades of silence in hip-hop, and speaking truths others were too afraid to voice. For years, the culture of silence had shielded the powerful. 50 Cent made it clear that ends now.
For both of you, one of the other questions fans are asking is, there are a lot of great and powerful interviews in this, but where are A-list celebrities? Where are people in his orbit?
December 7th, 2023, 50 declares proceeds from a project going to victims of misconduct allegations against Diddy. Financial compensation promised, putting money where his mouth is. When discussing Cassie's story, 50 Cent acknowledges the unique vulnerability she faced entering the industry so young.
Cassie's a victim of all this because she came in as such, she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you condition.
Cassie declined to participate, invited to be in the series, but politely declined involvement. 50 Cent spoke to her and husband Alex, fine to understand how things transpired, respecting her wishes, but telling the story anyway. The producer explained that silence from a hip-hop community would send a dangerous message about what behaviors the culture accepts.
I didn't say anything. You would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say,
the most delicious piece of irony. That footage everyone's analyzing came from a videographer Diddy himself hired to control his narrative during his final days of freedom.
The clip we just saw and other parts throughout the episodes is from a videographer that was hired by Sean Combs to document the days before he got
5 months of production before even hiring Stapleton. 50 working on the project, looking for people close to Diddy who were willing to speak and tell the truth. Extensive research was conducted. A comprehensive investigation was built methodically. Reflecting on the documentary's success, 50 Cent acknowledged how the project exceeded expectations and achieved its mission.
I expected it to be number one. I told Alex in advance that she should expect it and prepare a award speech in advance because I got a chance to see the details of it.
The documentary team started before there was even an indictment. People were terrified because it wasn't obvious that Diddy was going to jail. Fear of retribution and retaliation was real.
People also have to remember, this kind of goes into why some people chose to be a part of it and some people didn't. We started this before there was an indictment. So, the air, the vibe, when we first started this.
That's what makes the testimony so
powerful. These people spoke knowing the risk. The music industry itself came under scrutiny. How did Diddy operate unchecked for so long? What systems enabled this? Stapleton reflected on what the jurors revealed about their deliberations and the complexity of the case they faced.
I think that, it is important for people to realize that they do make very valid points. First of all, I think that all of the jurors obviously stood behind what the decision was.
Ad boy artists describe exploitation and control. Everyone was afraid to speak because Diddy held the keys to their careers. But 50 Cent pointed out something crucial about why Diddy's old model of control no longer works in today's industry.
I think the artist that would have been a writer because he's like 600 pounds and they're saying he's not marketable. If he's still a talented artist, they would have took those songs and let him be a writer for someone they thought had a higher probability of sales.
The old music business is gone. Artists now meet audiences before meeting record companies. Technology dissolved the power that executives like Diddy once wielded. Looking forward, 50 Cent offered his thoughts on what the future might hold for the disgraced mogul.
I'm not sure, a comeback like in music?
Yeah, are people going to just be over this?
Well, I don't think he'll have a comeback where people are aware that he's...
Maybe Diddy continues making music behind the scenes because that's what he knows. But public support, that ship has sailed. The documentary made sure of that. Sean Combs. The Reckoning doesn't just document a fall from grace. It systematically dismantles the mythology of a man who spent decades controlling his narrative. Every interview, every piece of footage, every allegation builds toward one undeniable conclusion. The empire wasn't just crumbling, it was already destroyed. The documentary just made sure everyone saw exactly how it happened. And with 21.88 million views in 6 days, they definitely saw it. The documentary didn't just dismantle Diddy's public image. It also raised a bigger question. Why was 50 Cent the one willing to tell this story when so many others stayed quiet? 20 years of bad blood, business deals gone wrong, and uncomfortable encounters, all building toward 50 Cent becoming the loudest voice calling out Diddy when everyone else stayed silent. Their beef didn't start with a diss track or a Twitter feud. It started in a studio somewhere in New York City around 2001 when 50 Cent was broke, hungry, and writing verses for other people's checks. One of those people was Diddy. 50 never forgot that early dynamic. Working relationship, sure, but friendship, never. He'd later tell The Hollywood Reporter he wouldn't even call it that because there was no real disappointment when they didn't speak. 50 Ghost wrote verses including Diddy's bars on GDP's Let's Get It, got paid pennies, never properly credited, and walked away feeling used. Those seeds of resentment planted themselves deep. By 2002, things seemed cordial enough on the surface. 50 appeared on a revamped Notorious B.I. track alongside Diddy. Huff even presented him with the Best Rap Video Award at the 2003 MTV VMAs' All Smiles for the Cameras. But underneath that professional courtesy, something was already fraying. The Real break came in 2005. Mai desperately wanted out of his bad boy contract after becoming a pastor and attempting a rap comeback. 50 Cent offered to buy him out and sign him to gun it. Publicly, Diddy said he supported the deal. Privately, he demanded what 50 considered an unreasonable amount. Reportedly, $2 million. 50 refused. The deal died. Their relationship never recovered. September 2006 marked the point of no return. 50 released The Bomb, a diss track that crossed every line. He quoted Dead Press's 2000 hit and accused Diddy of knowing who killed Biggie Smalls' 50 Rapped before mocking Diddy's famous white parties in the Hamptons.
This means I won't be invited to white parties in the Hamptons. But here's where it gets complicated. By 2007, they somehow ended up on a track together. I Get Money remix featured 50, Diddy, and Jay-Z, all bragging about their Forbes rankings. They even performed together at Madison Square Garden during Screamfest. A temporary truce, maybe professional appearance, definitely, but that underlying tension never left. The stories 50 tells about their personal interactions reveal why he found Diddy so uncomfortable. He claims that at Chris Lighty's wedding, Diddy approached him with an offer that made his skin crawl. Take me shopping. 50 recalled years later. I thought that was the weirdest shit in the world. Because that might be something that a man says to a woman. Let me move before I do something. You go make me mess up.
50 also recounted hearing Diddy tell Fabulous.
We need to party.
His reaction, what is you talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. By 20110, 50 was back on the attack. During a Hot 93 7FM interview, he dismissed Diddy's entire artistic credibility. Puff's not an artist. An artist would be someone who wrote actually something on a record. 1 month later, 50 created an online petition demanding Diddy let Big rest in peace. The petition's language cut deep. Big E's name should never have become Combs's crutch. In 2018, Diddy tried to downplay their beef during his own Breakfast Club appearance, smiling through his response.
I have no beef with Fifth. He loves me. Y'all can't see that he loves me. You really think that's hate? You know he loves me.
Diddy said,
Me and him could be friends, but he doesn't want to be my friend.
Then came the vodka.
Diddy represented Shira, inking a lucrative deal with Jiao. 50 partnered with Afen Vodka in 2016. Hip-hop beef became business competition, a new battlefield where 50 could attack on every platform.
It's not even vodka. It's grape. It says made with vodka.
50 told Drink Champs in 2018.
Mine is made from wheat from Holland, distilled 5 times, a lot less sugar. Then later when you have a headache because you finished your full bottle of Ciroc, I told you I was smart.
November 2018 brought a rare moment of humanity when Kim Porter passed from pneumonia complications. 50 sent genuine condolences.
No Puff is hit right now. He loved her for real. Soulmate type. Chin up, Puff. Positive vibes only.
But that ceasefire didn't last long. October 2023 reignited everything. Dwayne "Keffy D" Davis got arrested for Tupac's 1996 murder. Davis had claimed in 2008-2009 that Diddy put $1 million hit out on Tupac, and SJ Knight 50 immediately posted. So Pac got lined by Brother Love LOL. When Diddy appeared on a podcast dismissing the allegations as nonsense, saying,
Talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense.
The damage
was already done in the court of public opinion. Then November 2023 happened. Cassie filed her lawsuit alleged sexual assault, abuse, and trafficking over 10 years. They settled the next day. No admission of guilt, but 50 wasn't letting it G.
First he denied, then tape comes out. That means everything that Nick says is a lie.
A lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs accuses the music performer and executive of physical abuse and trafficking. The singer Cassie says the incidents occurred throughout her 10-year relationship with Combs.
The lawsuit had been filed under a New York law allowing alleged offense victims to file past the statute of limitations, a window that was about to close.
To be clear, this is a civil lawsuit. This is not a criminal lawsuit. There's no chance here as we stand for Sean Combs to go to jail. It's a civil lawsuit about money.
Legal experts explained the stakes immediately. This was a civil lawsuit about money, not a criminal case that could send Diddy to prison. But the allegations themselves were severe. Claims of physical abuse, demands that Cassie performs with others while Diddy watched, and
these things happened years ago. So the statute of limitations is gone most places, but in New York they have this law where they opened it up for a year and said if you're a survivor of assault.
The expected defense strategy was predictable, claimed the allegations were fabricated, exaggerated, motivated purely by money. Cassie simply wanted a piece of Diddy's fortune.
Thing that comes to mind when we get these lawsuits in, not just of this nature, but any of them, is that the people are about money.
But attorneys familiar with abuse dynamics explained why victims often stay silent for years. Relationships don't start abusive. They build gradually, trapping victims in cycles they don't recognize until they escape.
Relationship for that long. Sometimes things build up where you go in and you're being wined and dined and everything is good, and gradually things get worse. So if I'm on her team as her attorney, I'm making it clear that that's what happened.
May 2020 award brought the hotel video. CNN published surveillance footage from 2016 showing Diddy assaulting Cassie, kicking, dragging, throwing. Undeniable visual evidence. 50 ramped up his attacks immediately. When police raids seized over 1,000 bottles of baby oil from Diddy's homes, 50 created a mocked-up Diddy oil branding image that went viral instantly.
Claim. Remember, Cassie has to prove this claim. All that Sean Combs has to do is make it so it's unbelievable, but Cassie has to prove.
But this is where 50's mission shifted from trolling to something else entirely. In September 2024, after Diddy's arrest, 50 announced his documentary wasn't just social media jokes anymore. This was a long-term strategy to expose.
People know about this very public, long-standing feud that you had with Sean Combs. So what brought you to this project?
Well,
was there anything that surprised you when you were watching the footage?
That didn't surprise me at all.
50 explained his reasoning with unusual clarity.
If I didn't say anything. You would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors if there's no one else being vocal.
He doubled down with GQ.
He doubled down with GQ.
Honest, just the culture itself. If someone's not saying something, then you would assume everybody in hip-hop is okay with what's going on.
The uncomfortable truth. Other rappers stayed silent.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna mind my business.
They'd say privately because of the position Diddy held in the culture for so long. The power he wielded, the fear he inspired. 50 explained why Cassie's story resonated with him on a different level. She'd entered Diddy's orbit as a teenager, barely 19 years old, when she signed to Bad Boy Records. That power imbalance, that vulnerability, it changed his perspective on everything that followed. The documentary became 50, his vehicle to separate Diddy's alleged actions from hip-hop culture itself. Director Alexandria Stapleton made that mission clear, preserving the culture while holding one man accountable for his alleged crimes. December 2024 brought strategic brilliance. 50 appeared on ABC News, and fans immediately noticed something calculated.
For the few stations they're allowed to watch in prison.
Observers noted. When asked about it, 50 confirmed with zero shame.
I thought about it. What's wrong with that?
Psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare at its finest. December 2025 brought the release, 4 episodes, never-before-seen footage, testimony from alleged victims, and 50 Cent's name attached as executive producer, ensuring maximum attention. Diddy's camp fired back immediately, calling it a shameful hit piece built on stolen footage. His mother, Janice, released her own statement denying specific incidents depicted in the series, particularly claims about abuse within their family. But 50 wasn't backing down. He'd spent 2 decades building this case in the public eye. From ghostwriting accusations to murder implications, from vodka wars to baby oil memes, what started as professional rivalry had transformed into something else entirely. A mission he claimed to give voice to the voiceless. To prove that hip-hop wouldn't stay silent about abuse, even when it meant confronting one of the culture's most powerful figures. Whether motivated by genuine concern for victims or decades of personal animosity, or perhaps both, 50 Cent had positioned himself as Diddy's loudest antagonist. And just when it looked like 50 Cent had won the narrative war, Diddy's sons decided they weren't going to let his story be told without a fight. December 28, 2025, Justin and Christian Combs dropped a trailer that shook the internet. Not another apology, not another plea for sympathy, a declaration of war.
Diddy Combs' sons, Justin and Christian, are teasing a new docuseries about their family. Justin and Christian King Combs appear in a new trailer released December 28th to Instagram by Zeus Network's founder.
The brothers partnered with Zeus Network for a 2026 documentary release promising to finally share their perspective. The clip showed them watching courtroom footage, headlines flashing across screens, news coverage playing on repeat. The trailer ended with Justin picking up a prepaid call from Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution. Their father's voice on the other end. Still connected, still fighting, still family. Zeus Network CEO Lemuel Plummer made something crystal clear in his statement.
About endorsing anyone's behavior. This was about giving 2 sons the platform to tell their story, their experience, their truth.
Combs shares Justin with ex-Misa Hilton and Christian with the late Kim Porter. The rapper is also dad to 34-year-old son Quincy and daughters Chance, 19, twins Delilah and Jesse, also 19, and Love, who is 3 years old.
But here's the thing about truth. In 2025, it's become a weapon and everyone's armed. Months earlier, King Combs had already fired the first shot. May 2024. The track was called Pick a Side, and it wasn't subtle. Christian didn't hold back. The song directly challenged critics, specifically taking aim at 50 Cent and the whole No Diddy movement that had exploded across social media. He defended his family name with everything he had. The lyrics cut deep. Federal raids on the properties. Christian flipped the narrative, claiming they were selling tracks, not anything illegal. Multi-million-dollar plaques, not criminal enterprise. And he had words for New York. Then came the direct shots at 50 Cent, when all they had was 50 cents, who really put the city on the map. The challenge was clear, the line drawn in the sand. But perhaps the most shocking moment came when Christian referenced something that made everyone's eyebrows raise about what federal agents didn't know during the raids. Both sons showed up throughout the entire trial, front row every single day, supporting their father while the world watched and judged.
That's loyalty some people can't understand. That's family some people don't have. But loyalty comes with a cost. March 2024. The home raids. Justin and Christian found themselves temporarily handcuffed, detained while authorities tore through properties looking for evidence. Neither brother was arrested. Neither was charged. Their attorney, Aaron Dyer, called it exactly what it looked like: excessive force. The brothers watched their father's world collapse in real time. They sat through testimony after testimony. They heard allegations that would break most families, and they stayed. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's documentary machine was already in motion. Sean Combs, The Reckoning, hit Netflix like a bomb. 4 episodes, 22 million views in 6 days, #1 in 49 countries.
Congratulate you, 50. I want to congratulate you on your docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. It's #1 on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, it's been #1 on Netflix. Did you actually expect it to be as big as it got?
I expected it to be bigger. It's actually exceeded my expectations now.
Fifth wasn't hiding his victory lap. On talk shows and interviews across social media, the man who'd been going at Diddy for 20 years finally had the receipts the world couldn't ignore. Director Alex Stapleton emphasized the depth of their research. 30 years of documentation, exclusive footage showing Diddy in crisis mode, dealing with lawsuits in real time, his carefully constructed public image cracking under pressure.
Well, I mean, I think it's rare to find someone who's being, talked about all over the country. All eyes were on him, so to speak.
The documentary included moments that genuinely shocked people. Diddy forgetting the cameras were rolling, his mask is slipping, reality bleeding through the brand. When the Combs brothers announced their documentary, 50 had thoughts. Of course he did. He posted on Instagram with his signature mix of mockery and menace. Wow, I want to see this show. I'm not sure this was a good idea. Classic 50, always stirring the pot, never missing an opportunity. But then Marlon Wayans stepped into the arena. December 8th, 2025, the Cruise Show podcast, and Wayans had something to say about documentaries, narratives, and 50's real motivations.
This is so beat down from years of Ricky Gervais. He done beat them. They like scared. They're like abused women in a new relationship. Like, as soon as the comedian comes on stage and they mention Mel Streep.
Why? Lyons questioned the whole premise. Who's telling the story? What's the real agenda? He pointed out the obvious. 50 and Puff have history, personal history, beef history. That colors everything. The backlash was immediate. 50 Cent fired back with memes and threats. Lyons doubled down with his own shots. Back and forth. Social media warfare. The kind of beef that feeds engagement algorithms and news cycles. Meanwhile, Diddy's mother, Janice, had her own statement. 86 years old and still defending her son. She called out specific allegations from a Netflix series. The claim that Diddy once struck her. Complete fabrication. She said, lies designed to paint a monster where her son stood.
There was so much empathy given, by the public for his kids. They all went to the sentencing and spoke, his daughters, and there was a lot of conversation about, during the trial, what his daughters were hearing when Cassie was giving these very horrific details.
These competing narratives created something unprecedented.
Multiple documentaries, multiple perspectives, multiple truths are fighting for dominance in the court of public opinion. The Zeus Network documentary promises something 50's version couldn't deliver. The family's voice, personal recordings, behind-the-scenes footage from their perspective, intimate moments showing how this destroyed people beyond just the accused.
For Fort Dix from the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York in late October after he was sentenced to 50 months in prison on related convictions. He is slated to be released on June 4th, 2028.
But here's what's
really happening beneath all the noise. This isn't just about competing documentaries or family loyalty or 20-year beefs finally reaching their conclusion. This is about power. Who controls the narrative? Who gets to tell the story? Who decides what truth means when everyone's got receipts and everyone's got motives? Diddy sits in Fort Dix until May 2028. 3 more years minimum. His sons are building their counteroffensive. His mother is defending his name. His former friends are sharing stories that can't be unheard of. And 50 Cent, he's already hinting at part 2. More unused footage, more interviews, more revelations that the first 4 episodes couldn't contain. The Combs brothers face an impossible task. How do you rehabilitate a reputation when the evidence feels overwhelming? How do you defend family when the world's already made up its mind?
How do you fight a documentary that became a cultural phenomenon? Maybe they're not trying to change minds. Maybe they're just trying to be heard. To add complexity to a story that got flattened into villain versus victims. To show the collateral damage nobody counts when they're ting up wins and losses and celebrity feuds. Competing truths in an era where everyone's armed with cameras, receipts, and an audience hungry for the next chapter in hip-hop's most devastating fall from grace.